From thetraderguy.com, this is Chris, and I'm taking a look at Euro Swiss for the upcoming 20-second trading session. I've got the daily chart in front of you, and this is the candle that I'm working with here on Thursday. Very interesting area that we are testing, 115. It's an area that has been important more than once. So while it does look like we may be trying to break down a little bit, perhaps even significantly, the question now comes down to, what do we do with the present situation? Because when I look at this chart, you could have a trend line there that's been broken down, and you can have a 1, 2, maybe 3 pattern, but we're not down to 3 yet. And that, to me, suggests that there is still some thought to be had here. This hammer and the hammer from the previous candle on Tuesday here suggests that 115 is going to be a tough nut to crack. We've seen a massive bounce from there. I almost wonder whether or not the Swiss are not getting involved again. They have been known to interfere in this pair specifically. So I'm going to go ahead and choke up here on the bat, so to speak, on the 4-hour chart. 115 being an area of significance again. I have the MACD in front of you and have a little bit of a divergence here. Price going lower, MACD turning higher. That typically means that we could get a bit of a reversal. Short term, I'm not looking for anything major here, but it could be a short-term smash and grab type of trade. I would be surprised if we broke above 116.5, but it could be a nice little short-term rally that we're taking advantage of for, maybe 30, 40, 50 pips. Probably 50 pips or so I would be willing to take as a nice little gain. A breakdown below the lows of the day, of course, would have me jumping out, and then we would have to pay attention to this area here. If we could break down below this massive hammer, the question then is, does it become a bigger move lower? So far, it still looks as if we are trying to form some type of basing pattern, but this pair does typically chop around and is typically noisy. So on a break higher, I'm looking for a move to about 115.75, maybe 116 or so. I wouldn't press the issue to 116.50. If we break above there, I would go ahead and re-enter. But there's no need to get cute here. These bottoming patterns normally are pretty complex. And again, if we break down below the lows of the day, then we need to start thinking about the bottom of this candle.